Hi Neurospices, welcome to Late Diagnosed. Today's video, I'm going to present part 2 of my recent trip, a cruise that I did solo. And what I want to do is let you know a little bit more about the reality of travelling alone as someone who's neurodivergent. And as much as I'm going to show you the highlights, so all the good bits, I want to tell you a little bit about the bits that were really hard for me. Travelling alone is not something that I necessarily want to do again. There were parts of it that I actually really did enjoy, and there were parts of it that were very hard. I masked a lot, and I didn't really realise that that's what I was doing until I came back and looked at it on reflection. And I guess it's just something that I've always done. As someone who's late diagnosed, I've fit into the world and I've compensated my entire life. So falling back into that habit was fairly easy, but I noticed what kind of a toll it took on me. And in the interests of being real and sharing this journey of mine, in being late diagnosed and understanding a little bit more about how that affects me, about what day-to-day life does to me and how it affects my brain, how it affects my nervous system, I wanted to share the real story behind the travel. Getting up on day 4, I woke up quite early and I decided that I was going to do a bit of a ship tour, just so that I could get some footage around the ship, and also understanding that there'd be less people up and about and hopefully less noise. And that was the case, but not entirely. But I got to walk around the ship, check out all the different areas without a lot of children screaming and people talking and whatnot, but I still came across that. I think the hardest parts for me were walking around and being on my own. As much as I really enjoy being on my own, when you're in an environment where everybody is with somebody, it did make it hard. Dinner times were the worst, or meal times were the worst. I found that although lunch was kind of okay, eating on my own, I think probably the wait staff were really surprised to see me on my own and made comments that were really unhelpful. Eating on your own there? I mean, yeah. Table for one, so that kind of means yes, I'm eating on my own. So as much as they were kind and considerate, there were comments that were made that made me feel even more alone, and that was hard. It's nice to sit down and have a meal and have a chat to someone, right? So I didn't really have that, although I did later in the cruise after I'd met a few people and we met up for meals together. I probably would have preferred, I don't know whether I would have preferred to sit at a table with a bunch of people. I was given that option to sit with other people, but you just don't know who you're going to sit with and what that's going to mean, and the small talk that you've got to do. And I just was not up for the small talk because that just costs me so much in energy. And you tend to be a little bit more of an oversharer sometimes too when you're put with a bunch of people and, you know, they start asking you questions and you start sharing information that you later regret. Well, I certainly do. So I just didn't want to put myself in that situation. So I didn't. Traveling alone can be hard, but it can also be good. I know some other women who have traveled alone and have had a great time doing so, but they're not neurodivergent. So maybe it's easier for them to strike up a conversation with someone and you know, have that all flow naturally without overthinking it, without thinking I'm saying too much, I'm not saying enough. Where do I jump in on this conversation? Where do I not? Some of the stuff that I found that was easiest was when we were with a bunch of other people who were all there for the same reason. So one of the venues around the ship was called Encounter Hotel. They held a lot of different events. So they had trivia, lots of different kinds of trivia. So music trivia, trivia from the 80s, movie trivia, a bunch of different things, and that was fun. And although I'm not very good at any of that, it was fun to join in with a few other people and come up with some answers and then obviously not win. But it was fun all the same, so that was good. Travelling as someone neurodivergent is not always the easiest of things. The autistic brain wants to know in advance what's going to happen, what the plan is, what the room looks like, how many people I'm going to come across, what problems I might face. Those kinds of things can just build up in your mind. And that was the meltdown that you saw the morning of my cruise. That was me not really having any control over what was going to happen and not knowing everything in advance, making my brain kind of go into a little bit of a meltdown. And I needed to be distracted. And thankfully, my son and daughter-in-law helped distract me the morning of the cruise, and we all went out for brunch, which was great.
Hello from the deck of the Encounter. Heading off to the aquarium today. Should be good. Nice area here. I'm not sure what it is. Performing Arts Centre, I think. So I've just been to the aquarium, which was great. Glad I got in there early. There was lots of families, lots of kids. So trying to keep ahead of all of that noise, which is good for a spicy brain, to keep away from all of that. So managed to do most of that. Off to the art gallery next.
You had a different
You may have guessed tonight's theme is Gatsby. So there's the Gatsby party after dinner, then there's a show, and then late night the party continues with a DJ, and also there's karaoke, so I may go to that, although I may swap out the big heels for something a bit flatter, given the ship is still rocking a little bit. That part is not my favourite. I've been out most of the afternoon sleeping because nausea's not fun, and I've taken my Travel Calm tablets now, so hopefully that will alleviate any of that, and I shall see how fabulous everybody looks in all their Gatsby outfits. I'm gonna head down now and possibly get a photo. Anyway, should be a fun night. Hey everyone. Today's Friday and the last day of the cruise, and tonight is the final for Voice of the Ocean, which is the karaoke competition, and I'm through to the finals, so I'm really nervous. Sad that it's coming to an end, but at the same time, being out in the deeper ocean has meant that it's been quite choppy and a lot of movement, and I've not enjoyed that. So yesterday was pretty much a write-off as far as how I was feeling, rather nauseous, even though I took anti-seasickness or anti-movement tablets. It hasn't really helped a lot. So I've had to take them again today. We are getting closer to shore now, but still not, where I would like to be. Good morning, everyone. Well, it's the last morning of the cruise and we've pulled into port. And I'm just having a nice coffee. Cheers. And then disembarkation at about 8. And then home. Be sad to see this place go. Oh my goodness, it rocked last night. We had so much fun. I ended up placing 3rd in the Voice of the Ocean competition, which was so much fun. But the singers, honestly, were incredible. I was really surprised that I even got that far. So, yeah, it was pretty stoked. And it was so much fun. So much fun.
At the end of the day, 7 days away was great. And I needed the break, and I had a really good time. There were hard parts to it, of course, and there were parts that I really, really enjoyed. And I guess that's the case for travel. You know, you don't expect that it's all going to be 100% fantastic. I mean, it would be nice. And I certainly would like to travel more, absolutely. But I think, you know, traveling with friends or traveling with loved ones is most definitely the way to go, and what I will look to do next time. If today's content is something that you've enjoyed, please hit the like button. And if you'd like to hear more about how my late diagnosis affects me, then hit subscribe. So tune in next week when I talk about my own battles with self-doubt and how my lived experiences after being frequently rejected or invalidated has caused a lot of self-doubt. Thanks for being here. Have a great week. Catch you in the next one.